Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals, your weekly dive into all things Nintendo with a couple of friends. And we got to jump right on into it because we had a Nintendo Direct and it was fire. Micah, you ready to start the episode?
Yep.
Cue that funky music, boy. Greetings, fellow Nintendo Pals. My name is Andros. I am one of the hosts of the Nintendo Pals podcast, and I am joined, as I am joined each and every week, by my fellow Nintendo Pal, Micah.
Yep.
And Micah, I gotta ask, how the heck are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
A little better than normal, maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe. Because it happened.
We shall see.
It happened.
It did happen.
It did happen. And you weren't live with me to share in the experience. We're talking, of course, about the Nintendo Direct we had this week. This was a big one. But before we jump into that, I got to ask Mike, as you know what we're doing here tonight?
Always.
We're gonna try to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts, and we do that through 5-star reviews. So if you listening out there have not yet left us a 5-star review on your listening app of choice, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Because you can join the Micah and Andros army in taking over the world. All you got to do is leave us a 5-star review. You can do that on Apple, Spotify, Podchaser, and Audible. All of those places let you leave 5-star reviews. So let's check things out here. I'm just gonna make sure real quick that we didn't get a new one this week that I missed. No, nothing new on Apple, but I failed to shout out at the beginning of the episode last week, so I will shout it out here that we got 5 new Spotify reviews.
Hot dog.
Yeah. So we're now at 88 5-star reviews on Spotify. So thank you so much to everybody who's left us 5-star reviews there. We're so close to 100. Hey, even if you don't use Spotify, just go fire it up and throw us a 5-star review. Then get rid of it. Is that against?
I feel like that
Spotify's,
should like get
terms
rid of
service or
all
something?
your reviews if you like delete your account or something.
I mean, you don't delete it.
I assume it
get
just
rid of it.
well,
Yeah.
they can't just unlink it though, because then you could just keep creating accounts and deleting them and just keep reviewing something.
I have a confession, Micah. All 88 reviews are from me, actually. No, just kidding.
Doing that exact
I'm
thing.
doing that exact plan. But we really do appreciate everybody leaving us 5-star reviews. All right, Micah, let's jump into the first segment of our show. Let's talk what you playing. What have you been playing? What have you been playing? What's on the game plate?
You know me and what I like to play.
Yeah.
Played some.
You like to play
Splatoon 3?
Driver, now available on Android and iOS apps.
Yeah, good luck finding it though by searching.
So Micah launched his first. Did you say first? I mean, you had a version of this game up.
I mean, yeah,
previously.
it's technically the same game. Very, very simple game.
Yeah,
but made
so,
better and not illegal according to the terms and services anymore.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Micah
Google changed
has
something.
made his first game, and it is up there on mobile game apps. Well, it's not your first game, but it's your first published game. We've made projects together, and there've been side stuff for sure. But yeah, So everybody should check that out. We'll put a link to it in the description of the episode.
Yeah,
And by
'cause
that,
that's
I mean,
essentially the only way to actually find it.
yeah,
Unless
I
you know
by
the
that
full
I mean
package
Micah
name.
will put a link to it because he has the links and he writes the descriptions.
That's true.
Hey. So yeah, everybody should check that out. Try and beat our high scores. I'm in there under. You'll see my name, Andros1.
Yeah, it's as usual.
And you'll see Micah under there potentially as
I'm the guy who has the top scores in 3 of the 4 difficulties.
the dev. Feels a little like cheating, but you know what?
People keep saying that. They're like, "You developed the game. That's like cheating." Oh, first of all, it requires pressing 2 buttons. It's not like I have a leg up on anyone for knowing behind the scenes of how the game works.
I mean, but you told me that you had actually gone in and manipulated your scores before we
No,
started.
I said,
I'm just kidding.
I will do that if
I
anyone
will do that.
happens to beat my score.
Everybody needs to go in there so that Micah's high scores can be taken down. It's a fun game.
Good luck.
Yeah, I've been enjoying that one. But besides
I
Driver,
like
what
to
have you
say it
been
offers upwards of 5 minutes of entertainment before you probably will get bored of it.
I've put more than 5 minutes into it. I'll say that. That's a glowing review. Put that on the box. I've played more than 5 minutes of this game.
That's just all it says. That's the end of the review. Yeah, I mean, I have been playing that some, but besides that, I have played the usual Splatoon 3 and Rocket League. But I did play a little Smash Brothers. Ultimate.
Oh.
I did decide to just randomly hop into the World of Light campaign a little bit.
Nice.
So I ran around the world map for like 10 minutes to find one fight that I hadn't done yet. Did that and then decided to just beat the boss again. They need a way to like know where the missing fights are. I'm like 90% complete, but I have no idea where to find the missing fights, and I don't want to just run around until I happen upon them. Yeah,
there's a ton in that as well. So, you know, my youngest son has been very into Smash Bros. He is constantly asking to play that. Mash Bros.
Nice.
What he's been calling
Mash Bros.
Mash Bros. And he wants to play as Peekaboo.
Nice.
Because he still can't say Pikachu. I have tried really hard, but he loves Pikachu, and I like it. It's funny. He was always calling him Pika, and I was like, no, it's not Pika, it's Pikachu. Like, oh, Peekaboo in Mash Bros.
Got it.
Father, can I play some Mash Bros and some Peekaboo in Mash Bros?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we're both on the same page here.
It's pretty funny. Nice. Anything else you want to highlight you've been playing?
I think that's it.
That's okay. We don't want to talk about what we're playing. We don't want to talk about what we're playing anyways.
Next week, I will play Balatro again and some Perfect Dark. I have plans.
Oh.
First, I've been telling myself I'm going to play Balatro the last like 2 weeks, but this week I actually will.
So I have played a variety of games since last we talked. I played a little bit. I'm just going to talk about some of the ones that I dabbled in. Just played like one play session of, not really like a big. Like I played a bunch of this. Suika game, Mario Party Superstars. Kids wanted to play that. We didn't make it through a full game. I was like, well, that's the end of that. I also decided randomly to fire up Pokemon Puzzle League and play through that entire game again, because that takes like 20 minutes maybe to play through the entire game. Some Clubhouse 51 worldwide games. Did we talk about this last time? How it's different in Australia?
Yeah, it's just
51 worldwide games.
They dropped the Clubhouse, right?
Yeah, it's just called 51 worldwide games.
That's interesting.
And Gloomhaven. I don't know if we talked about this last time, but we played Gloomhaven together. You were playing on PC, and I was playing on Switch. This is my first time trying the Switch port of Gloomhaven, and it works good enough and fine. I have one major gripe with it, and so everybody out there that maybe has any sort of vision impairment, I would avoid this version of the.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if that's fixable in any versions of the game, and what I would say is a fatal game design flaw for Gloomhaven. The text is not adjustable. The size of text is not adjustable. On the Switch, that's a problem because the screen is so small that the text is all very, very small. I know the game well enough and know the cards well enough to be able to play without it. But if I was learning to
Just wait
play,
until you start a new character.
yeah, if I was trying to learn while reading that, it would be doable, but it's just a little too small. I'm also
Yeah.
old.
Well,
I'm
you can
30,
use the built-in zoom function on the Switch.
Yeah, which we learned about.
Really kind of a hassle. Yeah, we learned about specifically for this.
Yeah, if you double click, you have to enable this in the settings, but if you double click the home button, you'll have this zoom menu pop up and you can continue to control the game. It's That's pretty cool. That works. It doesn't enhance the pixels though, so it's still a little muddy. Yeah, that's my experience with that. That is, I'd say that's a pretty major complaint. Other than that, I mean, that game is super fun, and I liked being able to play while sitting the comfort of my couch versus at my desk where I was playing it previously. And then I've played a lot of The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I finished my Minoru only run where I went through and beat the Depths Koga fight mission quest line. I don't know what that's called. The Defeat
Yeah,
Koga quest line.
I think that's what they
It's
call
that
it in
whole
the little
title,
like
yeah.
journal thing.
Defeat Koga in the depths, and it was awful. It was so hard. But
Yeah, good thing you had some great viewers giving it incredible advice.
I know you did give me some good advice. I talked about it last week. Micah
Well,
helped me out in a
well, I mean,
pinch.
thank you. But I mean, not just me though. There was lots of good advice I felt,
Yes.
or at the very least, good moral support,
Yeah.
and people telling you to go to bed. I do remember. I do remember that.
Yeah. Yep. That's accurate. I really enjoyed hanging out with Minoru as ChatGPT. Minoru said
Stop
some.
being so formal, as in they gave like the most formal Academy Award accepting speech to you about how they were going to be better.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was a lot of fun. So the Minoru only run was really, it was fun. It was challenging. It's hard. And then I also did a cooking stream where I went to each of the restaurants in Tears of the Kingdom that you can go to, and then I made those signature dishes in real life, including snail chowder.
And it was delicious, right?
It wasn't bad. I was shocked. I had to psych myself up to eat those because,
Oh, so it's
bro,
definitely the getting past the snail part. I feel
well,
like
yeah,
just
and looking at
the
it.
concept of it,
No,
and
it's not
like
just the concept. They look disgusting. I mean, this is escargot in a can. You like pull it out, and it's just like they're just slugs. They're just little snails. It's so
how
gross.
slimy were they?
They weren't slimy.
Okay,
They
thank
weren't slimy.
goodness. Because I
Yeah.
mean, if there's still like some
In fact,
sliminess to them, I
my
would have been.
experience in eating like exotic foods, I would say like squid was a way worse texture. Have you ever had squid, like squid leg or
Yeah.
octopus? Yeah.
Oh yeah, the tentacles are the best part, but I got like a
Yeah,
whole squid
but those
once.
are like stringy, kind of chewy. Snail at least is better than that. Little tougher than
Hmm,
that. Yeah,
a little tougher,
yeah. It
so they're
tastes.
more chewy.
I would say it's
Like
like the consistency of a mushroom.
interesting.
I had to psych myself into believing they were mushrooms in order to take the first bite.
They probably tasted pretty similar to mushrooms too, right?
I mean, they didn't. They just kind of absorbed the taste of the chowder that they were in. So, yeah, it was not bad. Not bad. Not something I would ever try. But well, that's
But
not true.
something you'll buy again now.
No, probably not. But I am of the philosophy when it comes to food that I want to try everything once. Just try it. Like I've gotta experience it and see what it's like. But that one was
I'm
hard. It was
mostly the
very
same,
hard. Yeah.
except for certain food items. But
Yeah.
I like the thought of trying interesting concoctions.
So that's what I've played this week. Lots of Tears of the Kingdom. And I've got lots more Tears of the Kingdom planned. So if you haven't already, check out my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel. It's Andros1 on both of those. And while you're over there checking that out, maybe you could join just Simu. Simu? Hopefully I'm pronouncing your username right. And joining us in the live chat over on Nintendo Pals. So message here in chat says, how are you guys? How are you, Micah?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing pretty good too. We stream these episodes live every Friday night, with the exception of
Usually.
usually there's some exceptions, but every Friday night, Nintendo Pals over on twitch.tv/Nintendo_Pals. Someone took Nintendo Pals. Can you believe it? And they don't even stream anymore.
What a bunch of turkeys.
Yeah.
Or a turkey? I assume it's multiple turkeys. It's plural pals.
I think it's just someone out there to steal our name. They were before us, obviously. But with that, I think we can move into the next segment of our show. We talked about your plan, so let's move in to the meat of the episode, and that's the Nintendo news. It's been a big news week, Micah. We had a Nintendo Direct. A Nintendo Direct, the first one since September of
And I
last.
almost woke up in time to watch it live.
Truly, you are a hero.
I really thought about it.
Did you see my text? Did you see my phone call?
You called me?
Oh, you liar! You did, and you're just like, no, I'm going back.
I don't see any notifications here. I will admit, I joined and watched your reaction to it like 15 minutes after it started or so.
Oh my gosh! Why? You could have been there. That would have been awesome.
It was one of those things where you're laying in bed and you got just one eye open. I don't know if other people do that. When I'm really tired and watching things, I just watch it with my left eye.
I don't do that.
I feel like maybe
But
that's not a normal
I
thing.
have lately in this phase of life fallen asleep with my phone watching something and then waking up when it ends and like, oh, I guess I'll have to finish this
Well, that's a
another
good
time.
episode.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Okay, so let's talk some news prior to the Nintendo Direct. Right? We had the Nintendo Direct. Oh no, wait, we don't have any news prior to the Nintendo Direct. That seems like that's where it kind of
We're
all
not just
starts.
like last
Plus,
time.
we talked. Didn't we talk about the person smuggling cartridges? Did we talk about that? Let's talk about it.
Sounds really familiar, but I don't remember. Like,
Okay, well, let's talk about it again. A woman was busted for smuggling 350 Nintendo Switch game cards in her bra. Like, bra. What are you doing, bra? She was intercepted by customs officials, hoping to get away with just just sneaking past with that stuff hidden in the clothing, and it did not work. What was she gonna do with all those cartridges? Probably resell them, right? But
I
I like
guess,
to
yeah.
think
They live
I like
white.
to think that she bought every game she possibly could that was banned in China and was planning to just bring them home and play them all. I will.
Yeah, they're all just for her.
Yeah, all
All
150.
350.
Yeah.
And I don't
350
they
cartridges.
assume they don't mention any specific games.
They don't.
Although if you look real close at this image, you can probably tell what some of the games are. That's pretty low quality.
350 copies.
It's like one of those like drug busts where they like lay out the drugs and like take a picture of it, but it's just like a table full of Switch cartridges.
It's like the worst
Oh,
game you could get.
definitely looks like some Animal Crossing, maybe.
Oh, there you go. Maybe they were all Super Mario 3D All Stars, since those are rare. Limited run.
Where's my Animal Crossing?
It was in this woman's bra, actually. You've lost yours to the customs official.
She just has the magical ability to teleport Animal Crossing into her bra.
Well, speaking of magical ability to teleport, let's move to the next news item here, Micah, and let's talk about the Nintendo Direct. And I think that the way to do this is to just kind of have it playing here on the side. What do you think?
Sounds
Bold?
good.
All right. I have it here. You'll have to approve the sharing. So, Nintendo Direct happened on the 18th, and they wasted no time jumping straight in to Mario and Luigi Brothership, which a brand new game in the Mario and Luigi series was not on my bingo card. Very unexpected. What'd you think of this one, Micah?
I mean, Mario and Luigi games are always great. This looks good. Did they show off any like combat? I don't remember seeing like anything.
Yeah.
I only remember like the overworld stuff. Oh yeah, look, they got it right there.
They showed off like different brother combo moves. Like Luigi hits Mario while he has the hammer and it like spins him.
Oh yeah, Luigi hits it up so that
Yeah.
Luigi or Mario has more force coming down. I do remember that now. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like this can hopefully fill the void of old school Paper Mario RPG stuff. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, we
Stylish.
got Mario RPG, and we had Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, and now a new Mario and Luigi game. It's like all of their Mario RPG series on the same system, which pretty
That's nice.
impressive. I'm for me, I'm a maybe on this one. This one isn't like a must buy for me, but I also really want to try it. So probably will end up getting it.
Yeah, the odds are pretty good I will be picking this up.
Yeah. I like the noodly animation and the aesthetic. It looks good. It looks good. Next, they showed off more Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. And
piqued your interest a little more now.
Well, because it showed that you had full speed runs in it. So it wasn't just how fast can you grab the mushroom? It's like, how fast can you beat the game? And so there will be like an online leaderboard that you can do speed running on, which I think is pretty fun, pretty cool. And you can play against ghosts of other players while running. That just looks really fun. This one definitely piqued my interest more. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely right up my alley.
Yeah.
Especially, I like that feeling of just crushing all my friends' scores. Makes me feel real good about myself.
Yeah, I noticed. I mean, it's what you done to me my whole life. So yeah.
What? I let you have some things.
Next they showed off Fairy Tale 2, which is a game I'm not personally interested in, but looks good enough. I assume you don't have much to say on that one.
Yeah, nah, not
Well, and then we
not
saw
for it.
Fantasian, uh, which is from the series producer for Final Fantasy. So a Square Enix game, RPG that has a like bullet mechanic where you're trying to hit more enemies by aiming, pathing, and
And you can like curve. It's a very interesting mechanic for an RPG. I feel like,
yeah,
which is
I'm
I think usually a good thing.
I have no interest in that game myself, but could see people being into it.
Yeah.
You want to hit us with the next one, Micah, while it's playing here on the side?
Well, we got a free update for Switch Sports. They are adding a basketball, and it looks
Yeah,
like it's just 2-on-2 now instead of the 3-on-3 in the Wii version.
probably so you can do online.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do like the 4-player free for all 3-point shooting contest where all the balls are just colliding.
Yeah, kind of feels like the game we used to play Bump
But yeah,
every day in high school. So yeah, that looks fun. Definitely try that out. I mean, free update. It feels like too little, too late though. Like
yeah, it feels really late.
they're adding just little
They came
bits
out
and bobs.
last summer, right?
I think it came out before that. It's been out a while.
I mean, yeah, like I said, like a year, maybe more,
Yeah.
and then one more sport, which I mean, it's nice, but it just feels really late. But almost like they weren't planning on doing that, and then they decided to. It just doesn't seem like it would take a year to add basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
It does feel
know
weird.
that process. So
And then the next game they showed off was this game called Mio, Memories in Orbit. What did you think of this one? I liked the look of that one. It felt very Metroid,
yeah,
Hollow
it's
Knight.
another Metroidvania, which I am here for.
Yeah, I like
We're
the art.
glad those have been like taking off more and more.
I like the art style. It looks good. That looks like a
Yeah.
fun one. Not one I'm like super dedicated to picking up. But going back here to free updates, we got a free update for Disney Illusion Island. And I couldn't really tell what this update entailed, if it was new levels or if it was going back to existing levels and playing through different challenges to get things. Don't know. Yeah.
Speaking of Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Animal Crossing with Hello Kitty characters. That's it.
That's
Sangria
pretty
is
cool.
what those are called. Not one that you or I are probably going to pick up. And
Probably not.
speaking of which, Looney Tunes. What is this game called? Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports. This looks good for what it is, but my wife and I were talking about this. Who is this for? Because this is like kind of marketing towards kids, but do kids even know who the Looney Tunes are anymore? My kids had no idea who these
A
characters
good
were.
question.
My kids have no idea who these characters are, and there's not new shows being made really. So I just don't quite know what the goal is with that. That I can't imagine that selling super well.
Yeah. I think it'll sell decent.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty good, but it also seems like a game that they didn't necessarily work too hard on.
Right.
I feel like it's like they kept it pretty simple, I think.
Well, and moving right along the train here, we're talking free updates. Among Us got a free update, and that adds new roles, and with those roles comes new mechanics. So yeah, free update.
Yeah, it
And
looks
this is
pretty cool.
this is what spoiled the direct date, which I think is pretty funny.
Yeah, that's true. I had forgotten.
A good chunk of time of the direct got set aside for this game. What is this called? Formagia, the next one on the list. And
Magia. Yeah, I don't remember.
and it's a farming game mixed with an RPG battle, but the battles are kind of like
It's like,
Pikmin.
almost like Pikmin. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the plants you grow turn into like the creatures that you use Pikmin style. They can also combine or something.
I feel like this got extra screen time because Miyamoto was like, "Oh, Pikmin, they can have a bigger spot. They can have a bigger spot." I like how many enemies there or how many guys there are on screen.
Yeah.
It looks fine. I'm not particularly interested in this one, but it could be a cool series. I'll let you take the next one, Micah. What do we got next?
Speaking of a cool series, got some Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Yeah,
it's Donkey Kong Country Returns
in
high
HD.
definition.
In HD, yeah. This feels also like, why is this happening now? This is so late. This is the prequel. This is the game that came before Tropical Freeze, and it was sort of the return of 2D Donkey Kong. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm not crazy about this game. I think between the two, Tropical Freeze is better. But I also wasn't a big fan of Tropical Freeze, so it just doesn't hit the same for me as it did on the Super Nintendo, man. The old Donkey Kong Country games, they just hit different for me. But this is a well-liked series, so I think more in it is good. How you feel, Micah?
Yep.
Just agree? You know, do you have any?
Of course, you said so many agreeable things there.
You also weren't crazy about the series?
No, the only one I've played is I think like the original, right?
Yeah.
I think we both played it.
Yeah.
Around the same time. And I enjoyed it, but yeah, I wasn't crazy about it. I did try Tropical Freeze, but only played for like an hour.
Well, moving right along to the next item here. This game came up, and for the start, I was like, "Is this Zelda?" It's like, no, it's not. It's actually Dragon Quest, the Dragon Quest 3 2D HD remake. So it is Dragon Quest, but in the art style of Octopath Traveler Triangle Strategy, and this one's piqued my interest because Dragon Quest 3 and the Erdrick trilogy are like really loved by fans of the series. So I've heard 3 is like the best one. This is like Final Fantasy 7, but for Dragon Quest. I don't know how true that is, but it looks good. Oh, I like the look of it. So this may be my time to try out a Dragon Quest game because I have not jumped into the series at all. The series that inspired Pokemon, Micah. Did you know that?
Of course.
Yeah.
You know so much about the origins of Pokemon and stuff.
So we got shown Dragon Quest 3 and then they did this like pan reveal. Actually, all of the trilogy will be
There's more.
coming. Yeah. A second game in this style with the first 2 games in the series will be there. So Dragon Quest 1 and 2. But the series creator comes on to explain that chronologically 3 happens first and then 1, then 2. So that's why it makes sense to play it in that order. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember at first we're like, why are they releasing it in this order? That's weird. And then he comes on and explains,
Yeah.
probably a good thing.
And Dragon Quest 3 comes out November of this year, and Dragon Quest 1 and 2 comes out next summer, I think. It's a big delay
Do
between
they
the
have a
2 of them.
specific? I just see 2025 according to this list I'm looking at.
Oh, okay. So maybe just 2025. But,
So
yeah.
it could be earlier than the summer. I
Yeah.
feel like it's never that case though, when they just list the year.
I'm just gearing up. They're gonna do Chrono Trigger. They have to, right? They got to do it in that style.
That would be cool. Oh man, speaking of a game like
I'd
Chrono
rather
Trigger,
talk about the Chrono Trigger than what we got next.
same caliber of gaming, I think.
Okay? All right.
Funko Fusion, which you had strong feelings about.
I do not like Funko Pops. I think Funko Pops are tacky. They look bad. I don't like them. Never been a fan.
And I will admit, I'm not a big fan of Funko Pops, but I think this game actually has potential to be good.
It doesn't look like it's going to be good. It looks kind of all over the place. This, to
Exactly,
me, kind of looks like a Lego game.
but probably better. But yeah, it definitely gives off little Lego game vibes.
Lego game vibes,
For
but
sure.
not as polished looking. Is what it
What are you
looks
talking
like.
about? Looked
I
even
mean,
more polished.
that looked pretty bad. I mean, let's scroll. Go back here. Oh,
I think that was the
man.
end still.
This part here where this
Flip
dinosaur just walks through that box, just clipping through everything. It's like
Well,
there's like
yeah, it's magic. I will admit that is the one part that was kind of like, what was that? The intended way that was supposed to look?
because it looks bad. It looks bad. But yeah, this doesn't look like a good game. I hate Funko Pops.
I bet it reviews well.
All those Funko fans.
Oh yeah. Plus,
Uh,
I think it looks well made.
Moving on from that gross looking game, we had a little bit of a montage here where they showed off Luigi's Mansion 2. Some more of that. I think we've already kind of talked about. They didn't really show anything new, so kind of already talked
Yeah.
about this game pretty well. And then we got the new Denpa Men, which gave
Looks right up
strong.
your alley.
Yeah, this gives strong Miitopia vibes.
Utopia, yeah.
But does this have online play? It's like Miitopia meets Animal Crossing. You can
I
catch
mentioned there's a
Denpa
multiplayer
Men
mode with like
together.
different switches, but I don't know if that's just like local.
It's free to play as well. I don't know who's developing that. Who's making that game? Did it say?
It's a secret.
It's a secret to everybody. Yeah, I do like
Genius Sonority.
Okay. Yeah. Then we saw Metal Slug Attack Reloaded, and I feel like this already existed. I swear I've seen this game before, but maybe I'm losing my mind here. It's a tower defense game.
Kind of ish. Isn't that how they described it? And I feel like that's not actually that accurate of a, because it's like you have two bases and you like create troops and they just walk to fight each other. Which I feel like isn't very tower defense like.
No, it's like what's that game with the animals where you do this exact same thing and they like fight each other? Oh,
I have no idea.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
I did play a Viking themed game similar to that, actually, which was really good. I can't remember, was it maybe on the Wii U back in those days?
I'm trying to find the name of the game. Auto Pets, Super Auto Pets. Is the name of the game.
It's not familiar sounding at all.
Popular stream game. Then we got, hey, it's Darkest Dungeon 2. It finally coming out. Remember when we picked that for Fantasy Critic League? It got postponed.
Actually, I don't remember that.
Didn't we pick Darkest Dungeon?
I don't think we did.
Oh, maybe we,
Do we
maybe
still
we
have that
did.
list somewhere?
Somewhere, yeah. But who can check that? But we don't need to check that because the next games on the list were ones I was very excited for. It's A Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, 4 Swords. That's right, 4 Swords.
Online play.
With online play. And Metroid Zero Mission.
With probably not online play.
No, it's a
I
single player
assume.
game. But this game, it's a remake of the first game, but with much better
Zero missions.
graphics. Yeah, but with no missions in it. And then we got some mature rated games. That's right. Only on the mature section of the Nintendo 64. Turok. I can't take it seriously. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh yeah, rated M.
Have you never played Turok?
Is it like incredibly violent?
Good. So good.
I haven't played Turok.
I don't actually remember which Turok game it was.
But is there a reason it's rated M?
That's a good question. You can kill dinosaurs. It's kind of like being able to kill animals, which some people might not like, which might be why it's rated M.
And all of these are available now. And I
you mentioned Perfect Dark.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't. Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark is also here. And that's one you're planning on playing.
Yep.
Have you played
Sony's real big into Perfect Dark.
Have you played it before? I've played it a little bit.
Yeah, I've played it a fair bit.
Yeah. But you and me, we need to play through 4 Swords. That's what we should.
Oh yeah.
What we should have done today. Why are we podcasting? We'll play that. But
I can end it right now.
True. But we're only halfway through the direct, so I guess we'll move on to the next one here. I'll let you take the next news item.
Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero. I don't actually remember.
I don't remember it either. Do you have any interest in this game yourself? This is
probably not, considering I don't remember it.
Apparently, a series I haven't really heard of before, and it looked. Maybe this is like cynical. I think it looks good, but there's just so many games that look like this that I just don't. It doesn't stand out enough to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, so we'll just move on to the next one here. And that is Marvel and Capcom, like 6 games in the series Marvel versus Capcom.
Oh, you should read the full name.
This one right here, Marvel versus Capcom 2: New Age of Heroes.
Oh no, I mean it's. I think the game or the
whole
collection, whatever, according to this, is Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
Yes, that is
just
the
very
name
long.
Yeah. What are they trying to do? Make this like more Google searchable? It's like they're just like throwing in words.
Search optimization and whatnot.
Will here in the chat says, love how they reference gonna take you for a ride in this trailer. I don't know what that means. What is that? Do you know what that means?
Oh, of course I do.
Of course you do.
You know me and my experience with Marvel versus Capcom
I
arcade
like
classics.
I like these games in that they're just a really cool crossover. There's a lot of characters, but I'm not into fighting games really. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's where that ends. It's like, wow, what a cool idea that I probably won't play.
Yeah, but it looks well done.
It is. This is a good collection for sure, for sure. Uh, this next one I am very excited about. I'll let you take it though. You talk to it.
Yep, they showed off a new Mario Party, Jamboree. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. Super Mario Party Jamboree. And you want to freeze frame on that, Micah? Enhance. Enhance. I
Oh, wow.
believe all of these
Are we looking
characters
at?
will be playable.
It looks like it. Well, hmm. Is it the same number on either side?
It is not, but all of these
Interesting.
characters were playable in the previous Super Mario Party, except where's Diddy Kong? And Toad and Toadette were not playable. I think Shy Guy is new. I don't think he was. No, he was playable in the last one. And I hope
It
Goomba's
seems like
back.
they wouldn't have Goomba.
No,
Just because that
Goomba
means you
was
can
there.
have like
Goomba was in
you
the.
can't have any Goombas in mini games.
Yes, you can.
That's the
Remember, he
case.
doesn't have hands and he like paddles with his mouth and stuff. Don't you remember that?
Well, I mean, like in the mini game. If
Oh,
there's like you got to
I'm
jump on 10
I'm
Goombas or
fairly
whatever.
certain
I
that
don't know.
was I'm fairly certain that was the roster we were looking at, and those are the playable characters. But maybe not. Oh,
Seems
because wait, no.
loosely reasonable. Look at that
You say
weirdo.
that, but like
He
Ninja is
wasn't even
not
in
here.
there.
Yeah, and he is definitely playable. So maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe this will just have a huge roster of
I
characters to
mean,
play
Goomba
as.
Lagoon, they got Goombas jumping in the background. It just seems like it'd be weird to have a Goomba
Okay,
as.
we're jumping all over the place here because I'm trying to keep up with the trailer. I was so excited for this. It looks to be a combination of the previous two Mario games, in that it has Super Mario Party's use of the single Joy-Con, and so it will use like the Joy-Con controllers, which have a lot of cool tech in them that work well in a game like this. Uh, but they'll also have a combination of some more like classic style mini games. So it'll kind of mix between the two. And I'm assuming, given the way the previous games have been, there will be settings to turn off which mini games you want to play with as well. So if you don't want the motion control ones, you can turn those off. The maps looked good. I liked the look of all of the maps. Yeah, see that Toad was not the same Toad that gives the star in the other games. So I think Toad and Toadette. Oh wait, you can see it on the bottom. Toadette is playable right there. Boom.
All right.
So shout out to our
That just
friend
seems weird.
Roger. He is going to get this game and love it. He wanted playable Toadette in the last games so bad. Also, is that was Blue Toad? You can play as Blue Toad?
That looks like a red toad.
Scroll back. Enhance. Enhance again. I keep scrolling too far.
But that toad's also.
Right there, right there. Right there.
Yeah, but there's
Oh,
multiple
there's
toads,
yeah,
so
never
you can't
mind.
trust
Maybe
that.
that. Okay, all right.
I mean, although one of them looked like a non-toad character, so
It was a
who
shy
knows?
guy as well.
Oh, was it a Shia?
Yeah, we'll see what
We'll
we
just
got
have to
here.
wait and find out,
I
I
liked
guess.
the mall map. The other maps. I mean, let me just pause it so we can see what all the maps are. Okay, we've got Mega Wiggler's Tree Party, which looks to be
Great
very
name.
foresty. It looks very pretty, yeah. King Bowser's Keep. That looks fun. It looks like it has like a mechanical Bowser in the middle that'll do something. Roll'em Raceway, which they showed a special die that could move like 50 spaces in a turn.
Yeah, I think it's just like 4 dice. So you could move up to 40 if you rolled 10 4 times. But what are the odds of that?
Goomba Lagoon and Rainbow Galleria. In addition to those maps, we've got a map from Mario Party and Mario Party 2 returning.
One is something Western Land and Mario's Rainbow Castle.
Yes. And then we got shown something very cool that will be in this game. They showed off the different controls and mini games. It looked like there were quite a few, over 110 mini games. It's popping up right there. But then they showed this new mode where it's called Koopathon? Koopathon? Maybe I'm saying that right. Yeah, I'm gonna scroll back so I can see what it's called. But you play with 20 people online. It's a Koopathon. No, there's an L in there. How do you pronounce that? Koopathon. Don't like that. Don't like that. Yeah, it's a Koopathon. But that is.
Maybe it's an I. Koopatheon.
Yeah. You are playing with 20 people online, and it looks sort of like Elimination Fall Guys style, potentially. I dig it. I like the idea of just this crazy amount of people playing. And that's not all. They were like, there's even more game modes coming. And they quickly showed people being carried away in a little basket. They showed people slicing eggplants. A giant Bowser battle. There's like a bunch of modes. Yeah, a bunch of modes. And this is coming out right around my birthday. So I'm very excited. Very excited. Still feels very far away, but I'm still pumped. Can't wait for that one. And I thought, wow, that was the best thing in the presentation so far for me personally. And I was like, this is
Nothing
so high.
will be able to top it.
Nothing will be able to top that for sure. But then Nintendo went and proved me instantly wrong. Instantly wrong. That's an I, not an L, says Fedora Will. I don't know. I don't know. We can't confirm or deny based off the pixel size.
But would it not? I mean, either way, it's still weird, right?
Yeah. Either way, it's still pronounced weird. So, Micah, tell us about this next game.
It looked kind of boring to me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, so the trailer for this one starts with Link running in. He's got the like Breath of the Wild hood on. And then he takes off the hood and he's like, yeah, defeat Ganon. And then a big old rift opens up. And for the first
It's
chunk
kind of like the chibi-ish art style that made me think it was a remake.
Yep. The first chunk of this, I thought, oh, is this a remake of because it's in this same-ish style as Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
The same kind of toy box art style of Link's Awakening. That I thought it was a remake of a different game, but then Link gets sucked into the void, shoots and frees Zelda, and then Zelda runs away, and you realize we're playing as Zelda. It's finally a Zelda game. Echoes of Wisdom. And pretty hype. This was also not on my bingo card at all. This was out of nowhere to me. In fact, I recorded a podcast with our podcasting buddies, Presto and John over the Game Corner podcast. And I was like, they'll never do that. They will never make a Zelda game where you play as Zelda. I just don't see them doing it. Literally the night before. So this one was a big shock to me, and
Nintendo has enjoyed proving you wrong with this direct.
They love it. They love to throw some curveballs here. Nothing. There were no major leaks ahead of this, other than the date of the
Just
direct.
Among Us.
Yeah, Among Us. But they leaked it themselves. They accidentally posted the trailer early. This game looks really fun. It's kind of it's follows a Zelda formula, but it's got a very
The combat and mechanics are very different looking.
Yeah, because you have like a copy ability where you can scan something and then make a copy of that thing in the world to get around. There's it looks like there's a limit to what you can do based off of the triangles that the little dude that you carry around with you, the little fairy.
Scans.
Yeah. So it kind of has like a really cool freedom in its in that mechanic while being what looks to be a more linear Zelda adventure.
It kind of made me think of Scribblenauts a little bit. Like it seems like there'll
Yeah.
be a lot of different ways to solve things.
Yeah. And you can also collect and then scan and cast enemies that will fight for you. So you can bring out like what are those little piglins that and at one point I think she uses a re-dead, which is pretty cool.
Summoned a piece of meat as bait.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a ton to explore and do in this game. And then we're going to find the one thing that's just broken, and everybody's just going to use that one thing.
Spam that, yeah.
Yeah. But
Although it looks like some things have different values.
Yeah.
Like when she summoned that piglin dude, it used up 2 of the triangles compared to like 1 for a bed. So that keeps things kind of balanced. You can't just spam the same thing.
Well, Aonuma said he's like, I actually don't even know how many things there are in this game that are copyable. I have not counted them all. Which, what does that mean? Like, you haven't counted them all, or like, does nobody know? Someone has to know, right?
I mean, that knowledge has to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily anyone knows it, but
and with this, they're launching a new Nintendo Switch Lite design, which looks very cool. I like it.
It's pretty nice.
It's gold. It's got the Triforce on it.
The wings.
But man, can we really justify buying a Switch Lite in the year 2024?
I mean, who knows when the next Switch is coming out?
2025. They've already said they're showing it at the end of this fiscal year.
Showing it? I mean, they could be releasing it 2028 then.
But my wife instantly was like, "Well, I know which Switch Lite I want to get." I was like, because she's been wanting to get her own Switch.
Yeah, it is very nice looking. Like relatively low key, which I feel like works better.
Yeah. This game looks really fun. So obviously this takes the cake for like biggest announcement for me from this direct. Biggest surprise. Also,
so far, of course.
Story-wise, Zelda in jail? Huh? What happens? Everybody goes, "This is all your fault, Zelda," and they put her in prison. That doesn't make any sense.
Seems unlikely.
But man, this game looks really pretty. I'm so excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
and
it looks fun for sure.
This game launches.
It's relatively September, was it? Oh yeah, September 26th.
September 26th. Fedorable Will says Pig Ganon on the box art, so he is likely the antagonist. Maybe because
But
he dies in
is
the
he
first
though? Well, yeah, he
he
gets beat right
dies.
away.
Yeah,
Does he actually disappear, or does he then get sucked into the void as well?
Yeah, I
But
don't know,
it
but I
seems like Pig
definitely
Ganon can't be the antagonist, but
right. I'm calling it here. We're going to fight like a shadowy version of Link, and then we have to like knock him back to normal.
what? That never happens in any of the Legend of Zelda games.
And then of course we got Just Dance 2025 edition. Wow.
Oh, woohoo!
They made
We should
another
talk about
one?
this
I
for a
can't
long
believe
time.
that. I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Actually,
Uh
you know what is kind of shocking though? The next game they announced.
Lego Horizon?
Yeah, Lego Horizon Adventure.
Legan Horizo. Yeah. This is a PlayStation exclusive IP that got a Lego game and is now going to be on Nintendo. Very bonkers. How do you feel about this game, Micah? You played the
I
Horizon
mean,
games.
it looks like it plays nothing like the Horizon games essentially,
Right.
but
Plays
it
like a Lego game.
seems fun.
Okay. I got to
As far
ask
as
you.
Lego games go, it looks top notch. I've never really been a fan of Lego games.
Look at that hot dog stand. You just
Yeah, that's
notice that
not
in
in
the
the
image?
original.
It's not? That's such a bummer. Why would they not have that? Uh
I wonder what like the story for this is. Like, what is this, like some alternate reality? Where does this take place in the timeline of Horizon Zero Dawn?
well also, who is
Or
this for? Because I gotta say, like Lego games are very much targeted towards kids, right? Like, and you can see that based off the IPs they pick to use.
yeah, but
We've got
think of
like
all the
Mystery
kids that
Bears.
have seen their parents playing Horizon and been like, "Oh boy, I want to play that," but they're just not
That's
quite there yet.
yeah. Is that a big market? Because I don't think
I have
any
no
kid,
idea.
I don't think any kid is clamoring for a Horizon game like that. The Venn diagram of like Lego game fans and Horizon game fans has to be that sliver in the middle has to be so small. So this IP just doesn't make sense to me for a Lego game. It's not one that
What if
like
it sells more than the original Horizon games? That'd actually be very funny to me.
that would be very funny. I mean, it's releasing on more platforms, so
So you'd think maybe, but look at all those costumes. You can dress up as a carrot.
yeah, it looks like a Lego game. That's how I feel about it. I just think that I just don't understand who this is for, and I fear that it won't sell well because of that. It's like
Maybe it's for parents who have children that like Horizon, and they're like, "Oh man, I want my kids to also be able to enjoy
right, but
Horizon."
that cannot be a big market. That can't. That I mean, no offense to Horizon and no offense to Lego, but I
The
just feel like that
kids,
combo, yeah, to
I remember
kids.
when forever ago when I was like, "Man, I feel like Stray should come to Switch because it seems like it'd be a good match and whatnot." I bet that's going to happen at some point.
And then it did. We got the announcement. This
Much later than I expected.
well, and also with how much later it is, this game looks chunky. It does not look like it is running well on Switch.
Right? Seems like
Yeah, does
it's
that look
going pretty good.
grainy and like
Yeah,
unoptimized to you? It looks
looks
kind of
decent to
chunky.
me.
I don't think it
Oh, good.
looks. I don't think it looks as good on Switch as it does in other places. Uh, which I thought it would kind of just be a little bit more optimized, but we'll see. Maybe
I
these are just
still
like
think it looks
early.
pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I also bought and played Hogwarts Legacy on Switch, like all the way through, And I will admit that was not the ideal way to play that game because it just doesn't look as good for sure. I think Stray is kind of in the same boat, so it'll still be playable and fun. But yeah. Next up, they showed Tales of the Shire, Lord of the Rings TM game. It's Lord of the Rings Animal Crossing. And this is where I'm starting to see a pattern emerge. We're getting a lot of Animal Crossing-like games.
Yeah, that's been happening for a while, I feel like.
So my thing here is like this doesn't stand out enough. And it looks kind of like meh in its quality, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know if this IP again. Who is this for? I like. Is there a market? Is the market of people that enjoy Lord of the Rings and the market of people that enjoy Animal Crossing? Is that a Venn diagram that covers a lot of space?
But you don't necessarily have to like Lord of the Rings. You just have to like Hobbits.
Animal Crossing. Yeah, Hobbits.
I feel like might be slightly bigger overlap.
Directs are 80% JRPGs and farming sims, and sometimes both at once. Go back to Farmagia. Yeah, it's interesting. And you know why this is? It's because of Animal Crossing New Horizons. Yeah, Animal Crossing New Horizons came in the middle of the pandemic. It took over the world. And we are now seeing everybody that at that point was either A, inspired by that game to create what game they're making, or B, was an executive that was like, this makes money. We need to take our IP and put this into this. And so we're just seeing an oversaturation of these cozy Animal Crossing like games, I think. Which, hey, power to us as consumers. We have a lot of options. So I just fear for these games overall because it's just being brought into an oversaturated market. Also, can we just get like this isn't what I want from a Lord of the Rings game right now. I'm not opposed to it, but I would like an action game, an action-oriented game that isn't Gollum.
Yep.
Like that seems like that would make more sense for what Lord of the Rings is than to build your own little shire. These kind of cartoony looking hobbits. But who knows? Maybe we'll be proven completely wrong and these will sell crazy well. Next up, we've got Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. And this is the one where you play as the rival of Ace Attorney, whose name I don't remember, but who has a very frilly little shirt piece thing.
Scarf. He's Edgeworth.
Right?
Something like that. Just off the top of my head.
I don't know, but the hand-drawn characters and animations look real good. And you can switch back and forth between the old style and new style, which is cool. Yeah. You're right. It is Edgeworth. It just showed his name.
Yeah, I read it when you spoke a little bit ago.
I see. Moving right along. I'll let you take the next one.
The 100 line. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember this one either. At least not the name.
Yeah, this is the one where I'm living my regular life, and then they're attacked by
mundane average life.
And then they're attacked by just what look like
the goofiest looking monsters.
The happiest looking little creatures. Look at these little guys in the corner over here, just
dancing around that sleeping person next to all that fire.
They look like little cutesy Pokemon. And I was like, in my head when I was watching this, I was like, oh, is this Danganronpa? And yeah, that's by them. It's by the same team.
It's by them.
It's like right
It just
away.
feels very conflicting, like the art
And then
style and
that's
how
yeah.
dramatic and
Yeah.
like scary they're supposed to seem.
That's very Danganronpa. Like that's they're horror games that kind of give the facade of not being horror games, at least at first. I just really liked how he's like the narrator here says something to the effect of
There's no sound.
a mysterious school mascot suddenly appears. You're like, what am I watching? What
A
am I
little ghost with a cane and a top hat and
mysterious
a
school
brain.
mascot? And it's so dramatic. A mysterious school mascot appears, and then they're transported to this school, and they have to defend the school. And they're like, oh.
Oh, that's right. For 100 days.
And then
How I remember
you're
where that 100
invaded
comes
by
from.
rival students, is what these monsters are called. Just don't. I think we're lost in the sauce here a little bit. I think this is too many genres combined into one thing. But sure. Also, at this point in the direct, I'm feeling exhausted. There's so many things. There's so many things that we've seen so far, and we still have
2 left.
two more announcements. Now, this one here, Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. This looks interesting. I don't remember the first game being a thing, but yeah, I was like, oh,
Were
this
these
looks like
7 in the first game?
yes, because you defeat the 7 in the first game, and then they are trying to come back in the second game. So this
Get their revenge.
it's a Square Enix RPG, and I'm wondering how they are churning these out so fast over at.
It's
Square
actually
Enix.
wild.
There's so many. There's so many. They're just pumping them out. Let's move on here. I'm not crazy interested in this one either, but I am
But
interested in
you
this
are
last one.
crazy interested in this next one.
Yes, because at this point, what are they going to end with? And I, in my
There's
heart of
only
hearts,
one thing
knew.
it could possibly
I
be.
knew, right. They showed Zelda.
As
at
not the
26th minute.
showstopper.
Yeah, and so it has to be Metroid Prime.
There's
4.
nothing else it could have possibly been.
And
but
Metroid Prime 4, it loads in. But Micah, I will say here, much to your disappointment, when I was watching this part, I had no idea if this was Metroid Prime 4 or if this was 2 and 3 remakes. No idea at this point. I'm like, could this be Metroid Prime 2? Or
when would
is
you
it?
ever see a ship like that in 2 or 3?
I don't know.
How dare you?
And also, I feared just a little bit when she jumped out of the ship that it was going
2D.
It would turn into a 2D game, and it was going to be a new 2D Metroid game.
I mean, I would not be upset about another 2D Metroid.
I wouldn't
I'd be
either.
kind of upset
But
that
I
it wasn't
literally,
Prime
while
4.
the trailer came in, I was like, go into the helmet, go into first person, do it. And then it did. And I was so hype. How did you feel watching this one?
I was very glad to see a trailer for Metroid Prime 4, and it looks relatively nice. But let's be honest, all it showed was classic Metroid Prime stuff. There's
Not much.
nothing here that I wouldn't have bet my life would have showed up. Except maybe Silex.
How about this part here? I
mean, they built up for that, but
I love the intro here. Samus really taking her time to jump out of this ship and pose, like push the buttons.
You gotta do it. You gotta.
And it's just funny because
it has to be several front flips.
Yeah, when the look how she's going so slow, and then the camera turns around, and it's just all out war, like explosions and dudes jumping out and stuff. I was just like, everybody just like, huh, Wonder who that is landing their ship right here. I just thought that was funny.
I mean, you gotta have the right entrance to strike fear in your enemies.
So we got scanning. We know scanning's gonna be here. That's a
I mean,
given.
showed the morph ball, which they
I,
got into the morph ball pretty quick, which is nice.
does this
Oh,
whole and does this whole intro here though just look exactly like the intro to 3, where you're
I don't think so. Probably.
thrown into a facility that is currently under attack by space pirates, and you're running through vents? Like I specifically remember a cutscene right like this where you're flying out and Ridley comes down and he's like destroying stuff and you're morph falling past him. But yeah, this yeah, it looks good. It looks good.
I mean,
Silex, he's got
yeah,
two
it's not bad. Not bad.
aren't supposed to be a thing. They're supposed to be extinct, right?
Who knows? I actually have no idea where any of these games fall in on the timeline. I
Uh,
think this has to be before Dread or something.
yeah. So
But yeah, I mean, I was very excited to see that there was Metroid Prime trailer, and it's still happening. But I will admit, it was a fairly lackluster trailer.
yeah, it didn't show anything really. I think
Yeah,
what we were seeing there was the introduction of the game. Like that's the first part of the game.
yeah,
And
I
so
think so. Before you lose all your stuff,
yeah,
going beyond.
right here immediately after Silex is going to do something and you lose all of your powers. You're going to have to go find him again.
Although, to be fair, they only showed them Samus having the regular missile and shot abilities, I think, at that point. So who knows? Maybe you just start with nothing. Maybe that's the point right after you lose everything. I'm interested in that portally looking thing behind her, though. And they show a giant tree. And then the what do you call it? Not like the symbol, the backdrop item thingy picture. Looks kind of like a black hole.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Don't know.
So I feel like the literally the title is the most intriguing part of the trailer. So everything else was just exactly what you would expect.
Yeah, also, yeah, so Silex was in previous games, right?
Yeah, he was in Prime 3 and I think Hunters on the 3DS, maybe just the DS.
You switch
But
our cameras back.
I only remember a little bit of lore. In Prime 3, if you like 100% the game, there's like a little extra cutscene of Silex's ship like following you afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think in Hunters or something, there's some lore about Silex stealing some hatchling Metroids, which explains why they have two of them that seem to follow them.
He
That's all
hates
I
the
remember.
Federation.
Oh, that's right. And likes stealing Federation prototype weaponry. But why? And hopefully we'll actually find out.
Yeah. So they've been kind of building up to him being a villain in previous things.
Yeah. It's only
But
taken
maybe,
like 12 years for it to pay off.
yeah, but maybe he's not even a villain. Maybe he's actually secretly a good guy.
Maybe he's actually a she.
Oh, to pull the same twist that they did for
Yeah, I don't know.
Samus.
Yeah.
Actually, that would make a lot of sense. Maybe she
Maybe it's
is
just
actually an
Samus
it.
from Other M. They're different timelines or something.
Huh.
But then they just gave a broad 2025 release date. Lame.
Yeah. Well, I was so disappointed. I was like, holiday. No, nope. That's not the holiday game. You know what the holiday game is? I think it's actually
Romancing Saga.
Brothership. It's November.
Because we got that November. September was Legends of Echoes of Wisdom, and October Jamboree Mario Party. So those like 3 months
Stacked.
are gonna right before the holiday season with the Switch Lite. They want that console record. And they're gonna get it, I think.
You're right. Are they going to right before? Yeah. I was gonna look at all the release dates. Do you have a list up?
Yes.
Because Nintendo Switch games coming in 2024.
At least a list for the games mentioned in the direct.
So, do we have a game for every month? I think there's
maybe not every month. Luigi's Mansion this month. I mean, Dragon Quest is also coming out in November. Donkey Kong Country Returns is actually January of next year.
Yeah, that one also doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Nintendo World Championships is July 18th.
Okay, yeah.
In July.
Yep, that's I think first party we've got something for June, July.
We don't have August. I think.
Don't think there's anything in August. But then September comes around. There was what was September?
That's Echoes of Wisdom.
Oh, Zelda. Wait, Zelda's coming before
coming first.
Mario Party?
Early.
That's weird.
Then Mario Party was October.
Yes. And then Brothership is November. I don't think there was anything specifically in December, but Donkey Kong in January.
They want to give you enough time to get it before December.
Right. Yeah, so there's a lot coming. And we've got Rift of the Necrodancer comes this month as well. Didn't show any of that. Rift of the Necrodancer on the 30th. I'll be here very soon. I was just looking for first party stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. But Micah, what are your thoughts on the direct overall?
It is a very good direct. I'm trying to think of a direct that had more like big title reveals. I feel like Brothership, Mario Party, A Legend of Zelda, and Metroid Prime. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty stacked. Now, I would say that none of those titles, besides Metroid Prime 4, is really like
top tier. Like for their
like this is a Zelda.
It's not like a 3D Mario game,
right? This is a Zelda spin-off.
Mainline Zelda.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I feel like he gets extra points for actually playing as Zelda.
Yeah, but yeah, and still, just the sheer amount of them. It's like there was a lot in this direct. I also think we may have a little bit of bias given the time frame that this has come out. So we haven't had a full direct since September of last year. And in addition to that, there this this E3 time period, this summer game time period was pretty lackluster across the board. We're in a very lull year for first party titles from all of the major publishers. And so I think this direct stands out in that regard because it's kind of like a puddle in the middle of a desert. It's just like so the contrast, right?
Yeah.
So
But when was the last time there was a direct where I was planning on buying 3 full price games from?
that's true. That's true. So I think for me,
And then if I pick up Luigi's Mansion, that would be 4.
I am planning on picking up 1, 2,
But
3,
that was already known.
4, 5 games are for sure from this direct.
Hey,
And
that's a
then
lot of games.
yeah. Yeah. My wife goes, "How much money will that be?" I was like, "We can't think about that. We can't think about that." But yeah, that's like
For the podcast.
it's it's crazy how much content was packed into this direct and how much of a turnaround it is for the end of the year that most people were saying was kind of gonna be slow. Like, it's gonna be a slow
Yeah. Because people are like,
and
well, the next system's coming out real soon, so they're not going to be any like big titles. Make it
and then
feel
they
pretty
drop
dumb right now.
then they drop a new Zelda and a new Mario and Luigi and another Mario Party. Like what? What is
Which,
these are all things I
to be
was
fair, I'm generally not too big on Mario Party games. I like
yeah,
other people having them, so when I visit, I can play them, but
yeah.
I don't
In
feel need to own them myself.
in this direct, the only things I had really expected to see were Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, Nintendo World Championships, NES edition, and Metroid Prime 4. Like I was like, we have to see Metroid Prime 4 at this point, right? Like they can't not show it. Uh and the vast majority of everything else on here was a major surprise to me. So that's so cool. They did a really good job of not having major stuff leak.
Yeah.
Yeah. I give this an S ranking. I got to do it. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody.
I'm trying to think. I feel like the last one that rivals it wasn't Odyssey, and wasn't it one of the Zeldas? It wasn't Breath of the Wild that were like revealed at the same time.
Yeah,
That
Breath
doesn't
of the
sound right.
Wild, Breath of the Wild
Was
and
it?
Odyssey. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And then I
Yeah.
think
I feel like that's the last one I can think that kind of rivaled this,
yeah, I think Tears of the
at least for
Kingdom.
me.
Well, I think there were directs that definitely rivaled this, but they were very early on. I think the one where Tears of the Kingdom was announced, Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter passes were announced. But this one was just really good. It was really good. It was very balanced. I didn't feel like they spent too much time on any one thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
just not enough time on Metroid Prime.
the only thing that was bad was the Funko game. That was the only one that I was like, "This is
I
bad."
don't even think it looks bad.
I knew you wouldn't, mostly because I didn't like it, that you wouldn't mind it. I knew. I
I
was
was
like,
thinking, I was
"I
like, you
can't
know what?
wait."
This actually looks pretty good. And then you're like, this looks like garbage.
I
And
ca
that actually surprised me.
I Oh, really? It surprised you?
Yeah.
Have I never,
I
voiced
don't
my
think you've ever
disdain for
mentioned
Funko Pops?
I don't think so. Or at
I
least I
think
wasn't
there
listening.
I put it out on the Discord. Do you know what Precious Moments dolls are?
I don't think so.
If you if you
At
look it
least
up,
don't recognize the
you'll
name.
yeah, they're those, like, little cutesy angel dolls that have big heads. It's a very cartoon.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody knows what those are. because every grandma has that. Every grandma has little statues of that in their house. Everywhere. It's like a universal thing. And Funko Pops are our generation's precious moments dolls. Everybody's going to have
The
these
younger,
Funko Pops.
I want when the young generations are gonna be like, "Oh, why do you have these?"
100%. 100%. Our kids are going to be like, why do you guys collect these like really tacky looking knickknacks? Like these are horrible looking. You know
I mean,
that's what's
lots of
gonna
people
happen.
like Funko Pops.
I know, but lots of people like precious moments dolls.
Did they really though?
You guys are gonna look like old people. You're gonna be in your house with your little doilies. Your
They're gonna be
house
doilies at that point. With
your
what's a
house will smell like
nowadays
soap,
doily?
and you'll have shelves of Funko Pops. You'll have shelves of Funko Pops that no one will even know what the characters are from. It's gonna be awesome. And I'm gonna laugh as they die because I hate Funko Pops. They're just hunks of plastic. They're not fun. There's no fun aspect to it. They're a bad looking statue. I would rather get an amiibo. Or like literally any other toy. I'm just not a
It's
fan
good
of
to know you feel so strongly about this.
Yeah. I'm
I won't be buying you one in the future. Or will I?
Man.
They'll have a
They're
link.
They're
The
all so
Legend of Zelda Funko Pop.
they're all so tacky looking, man. I just don't like them. I don't like them.
Oh, they
With
already have
that,
one.
Micah, where you give this one as far as a letter grade ranking?
I'd say I'd probably also give it an S.
An
So
S
allowing such high
tier Nintendo Direct. So if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. With that, my guy, I think that's gonna do it for news. What do we have more to talk about with news?
Probably not anything important.
Probably not anything important. How about we got the announcement of Civilization 7 will be coming to Nintendo Switch. That was shown
Oh, I
off
thought we were only going to announce important things.
in Summer Game Fest, I believe. Let's talk about some of these other news items here. Walmart is canceling pre-orders for Luigi's Mansion 2. So many
And
people
I almost started to pre-order this in case they did the same thing.
Because you wanted to get a free copy.
I wanted the $25 off the next eligible order at least. I thought about it.
Well, when this happened for Paper Mario, people still got their copy shipped. So they still got it, even though it was canceled. Yeah. So
that's pretty nice
for
those people.
I mean, it could be, because if it was canceled, you probably went and bought it somewhere else. So then you just end up with a second copy.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think
then you can give that second copy to me.
I think this is dumb. Walmart needs to get their act together for their online store for games.
Well, is it Walmart's fault or is it Nintendo's fault?
I think it's Walmart's fault. They shouldn't have pre-orders up if they're not able to fulfill them.
Potentially. Well, I'd heard so Paper Mario they did the same thing for that. It was because Nintendo didn't want other people selling physical copies for some reason or something weird. I don't know how accurate that is. So I wonder if it's
Walmart is also where I got Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for $5 because I bought the DLC and it came with the full game. That was a fun time. So Walmart, it's such a risk. Like you'll buy a game from Walmart, but then you could end up with a really nice $25 off your next order. Or they just ship you the game anyway, even after your order's been canceled. So it could be it's a high risk, high reward.
Question is, does that still count as a sale for the stats of games sold?
Good question. I don't know. What are our other news items here, Micah?
There's what dates are these? What? Oh, okay. The next Splatfest being in July, and it's which would you reserve for a day? A palace, a theme park, or a beach?
What's your answer?
I don't know. I mean, you don't really need to reserve a beach unless it's like really busy. I feel like there's usually enough space on the beach for everyone. So, I mean, I'll probably go theme parks because if you reserve the theme park, that's just like unlimited rides, no lines.
Yeah, I
I feel
think
like
that's the
that's
only
the
right
best
answer.
value.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think
a
that's
palace, like, I mean, that'd be cool, I guess, but you could probably already get like a tour of it or something. I don't know.
I think that's
Maybe it's just a palace to live in.
the only right answer to this question. It's like, let's reserve the theme park. But, yeah.
Guess I'm just misunderstanding what they mean by reserve. Maybe they just mean reserved to go to a theme park. I don't know.
Well, either way, make sure to reserve the weekend of July 13th for this Splatfest. I just copied their exact tweet. Is what they said. Monkey Thunder posted a couple news articles that I thought were interesting. One, we got Nintendo won't reveal Mario and Luigi's new developer because Alpha Dream, the previous developer, was shut down. But says that the original staff are involved. So
Just reassuring, I guess.
yeah. And
So they've done
then
good in the past.
that Donkey Kong Country, the TV series, is now available on Amazon Freevee. That's right. You can watch the Donkey Kong show. I have I have very vague memories of this game or this show being a thing.
I have no recollection of this show at all.
Maybe we need to watch this. You and me. We can
I
watch
don't
it
know.
together.
Based off of this picture of the animation, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it looks I mean, it looks beautifully bad.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it.
And I think that'll just about do it. Oh, did you see that Pepper Grinder's getting a physical release?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
that is cool. That's about it. That's about it. So let's move out of the realm of news and into the realm of rumor. The rumor mongering scene is imploding. The rumor Pikmin have infiltrated all of the leakers and spoilers and are destroying them from the inside out. What do I mean by that? Well, last week or a couple weeks ago, we talked about the Midori reveal to be actually not Midori, but another leaker who had very low credibility cosplaying as a Japanese woman. Very cool. Now we're seeing that Pyoro, who was another big leaker in the the Nintendo leak community, was supposedly getting his information from Nintendo's website. And in a now deleted post, Pyro claimed they didn't know. So Pyro's source works for Nintendo of Japan, and Pyro claimed they didn't know their responses would be included in the report. Uh-oh. I didn't know they would include my responses in their report. They told me that their source, here's the snippet from the article. I reached out to Pyro to try and get clarity on this. Over direct messages, they told me that their source works for Nintendo of Japan. Quote, but I'm unsure how they obtain their information. And that, quote, back-end theory is a reasonable guess. Close quote. So they apparently work for Nintendo of Japan, but also they're getting their information from the website. But
Behind the scenes access to website stuff not released. I'm not quite sure what this all means.
yeah. Well, essentially, people are going, he's not actually leaking. He is just looking at web code and finding information before it's widely reported or before Nintendo's necessarily ready. So there was back in the day, people were able to look at channel videos that were uploaded but were not published. And so people would be able to see when directs and things were happening through that exploit. And so this is kind of similar just for their website. It's like, okay, here's one a quote from the Reddit article talking about the Reddit post talking about the stuff. The things that Pyro did ultimately leak were Metal Slug, Ace Attorney investigation, and Ace Attorney investigations. Both of those games have web pages up on Nintendo's website ready to go. They haven't uploaded any such web page for the major first-party direct announcements today. Usually sites tend to go up shortly after announcements like this. So the fact it's been 2 hours and no web pages are up is weird. Meaning Nintendo's like, what if we just don't do that? And then all of a sudden, this direct didn't have nearly as many leaks. It's like, oh, yeah. So Nintendo plugging up all the holes. They called Mario in. He's plumbing those leaks. That's for sure. So here's another quote from that. Doing a bit more research, I'm 100%. This is a quote. Doing a bit more research, I'm 100% confident now that is how he's got his info. The Natsumon content that Pyro leaked also has a store page up on the Japanese site. The Japanese Nintendo eShop sites have not been updated with a new batch of games announced by Nintendo. I have not seen Nintendo delay putting up pages for their games in a long time. So I think that's where Pyro was getting their information from. All 4 of the leaks that have store pages up on Japan, and in the case of Metal Slug / Ace Attorney in the US as well, none of the other major stuff in the direct has pages up. In my opinion, Pyro wasn't lying when they said YouTube backend wasn't their source. It was the website / eShop data getting uploaded ahead of time. So there you go. I am okay with this entire scene disappearing. I don't much care for leaks myself, and I would like all of these people to put their talents elsewhere. Because like it's just fun to get the announcements when they're coming. When they're
and if something gets leaked, it's usually not in a way that's as entertaining as if when you're supposed to be told about it.
Yeah,
you can get leaked that the new Legend of Zelda game was coming out, and then you're just like, oh, you just hear about it. But learning about it by seeing the trailer is just much more enjoyable.
100%. 100%. I agree. I feel like it's just clout chasing in a lot of cases. And people can be excited about news coming up and they want to share that news. So I get it. But then people build a following and then it's just not good for it's not good for it. It doesn't do anything good, I think. But Micah, I think that's all we got to talk about for the rumor mill this week. Is just we're seeing the implosion and death of the Nintendo leaking scene, and I'm here for it. Let's move on to the next segment of our show. That's right. What was that? Why did you push the button before I even said what we were doing?
Plus, I clicked the wrong one first.
Community Corner is where you, the listeners, can ask us questions. You can submit questions for us to answer on our Discord or hit us up on any of our social medias. If you're listening on Spotify, there's usually a spot where you can leave a comment there. First question comes from Monkey Thunder. How do I make more money to afford all of these amazing games?
You only need one kidney. Take that knowledge however you will.
It's good. It's a good. No, it's not. It's terrible advice. Yeah, I think now may be the time to get into the resell game, but it's not as good as you like. Trade-ins kind of suck. It's like I don't know. There's so many games, just and not enough time. I think it's all about when and how you get the games. So if you can wait, because it'll go on sale. And people say, well, Nintendo first party games never go on sale. And that's just not true anymore.
It's mostly true.
Is it? Black Friday,
it's not
everything gets discounted.
Ubisoft sales.
Right.
At least.
The Black Friday every
you can
year,
get 10 up to 20 off, it seems like.
Yeah, you can get down to like $40 games. There's also the game
That's not every
vouchers.
game.
Yeah, but I think most of the first party stuff has cycled through to be cheap. You got to look for those deals as well.
I feel like Mario and Zelda are probably the two that do that the least, though.
Well, when I was talking to Presto last week on the podcast I guested on, he had just gone to Staples and was able to purchase the brand new Fire Emblem game for like $20 because they had like a discount
Staples
section. Yeah. So it's like,
interesting.
Just keep your eyes peeled. Maybe look for buying used copies off of like Facebook Marketplace. There's ways to save on how much it costs, but in a lot of cases,
it's like Costco membership. I believe you can get it's like 5% off eShop gift cards or something like that.
Dude, they had Joy-Cons for $50 for a pair of Joy-Cons. That's a good deal for Joy-Cons. Yeah. I was like, maybe I should get these. I have no need for more Joy-Cons. Well, maybe I should. Yeah. That was my that's my 2 cents. You said sell a kidney, and I'm saying look for deals.
Whoa. I did not tell anyone to sell a kidney.
You just said you only need one.
Yes.
Yeah. How else can
That's a very big leap. That's a very big leap.
Yeah. How else do we make more money to afford all of these? Wait. How else do we make all of this money to afford all of these amazing games? Well, check out our Patreon over patreon.com/Nintendo_pals, where for as little as $1,
help us make money.
You can help us afford all these amazing games. That's right. Crowdsourcing. Actually, maybe you could do that. You'd be like,
I remember
mom,
when
dad,
Animal
uncle,
Crossing
aunt,
came out.
grandma, grandpa, can everybody just pitch in $1? And then you get 60 people to do that. You got yourself a game.
Yep. Do you know 60 people that would give you $1?
Yes,
Hmm.
I think so.
Am I on that list?
No, you would
That's
not.
right, I'm not.
You would not.
That's
I
right, I'm not.
I saw there was an advertisement when I was a kid, in I don't know what magazine it was, but it was for Mario Kart DS. And it showed a person out on the side of the road with a cardboard sign, and it just said, "Why lie? I need Mario Kart." They're begging on the side of the and
That's pretty good.
lives rent free in my head, that advertisement. It's like, that's so funny. Like, just take it to the streets. Sell lemonade. That's what everybody does.
Yeah,
So
I will not buy lemonade from someone's lemonade stand on the side of the street. That
oh,
just seems questionable.
there's one that is like a food truck style lemonade stand that props up shop in our neighborhood every once in a while. It's pretty good. Uh, but yeah, how do we make more money to games? If anybody has any job offers out there, let us know. We're on the market. Micah, hit us with our next question.
Asked by Presto from Off the Wall. If you could only choose 2 of the 4 first-party games announced at the Direct today to play, what would you pick and why?
Shoot.
And they give their answer, and I don't know, or probably their answer, maybe. I don't know if we should read that first. They
No.
put in
We'll give
spoiler
it.
tag.
Yeah, we'll give our answers first. Which 2 do you pick? I think it's easy for you.
Prime, absolutely.
Prime and
then the other one's actually difficult. I would probably have to go with Legend of Zelda.
over
I
what?
do
What were you having
really
a
want
difficulty?
Mario Brotherhood.
Oh, Mario and Luigi.
Mario and Luigi. Because it'd been a while since I played those, but I think I played 2 on the DS, and I really enjoyed those. A lot of fun.
Yeah, off rip. I'm gonna say Zelda and Mario Party. That's just my gut. Like,
You
yep.
promised me you would play Mario or Metroid Prime 4. Can you
Well,
imagine
good
Mario
thing
Prime
this
4?
is a
How good
hypothetical
would that be?
scenario, and I can still
And you're
play
just
Metroid Prime.
hypothetically stabbing me in the back.
Yes, exactly. Presto picked Echoes of Wisdom and Brotherhood.
At least I assume they just they put ...
Would
Would
it
it be
be
Echoes of
those?
Wisdom and Brotherhood?
No.
So
Brotherhood's the bottom
no.
tier for me on this list.
Wow.
I know. And I know
Wow.
that not everybody jives with
Wow.
Mario Party like I do.
Wow.
But I like Mario Party. I'm a big fan of the Mario Party series and really haven't had a bad time
Well, you
playing
could
any Mario.
also be a big fit. Remember that one time you're doing very well in Mario Party, and then you were doing very not well in Mario Party?
That's
Would you
fun.
consider that a bad time?
Oh, I thought that was fun. That's so good. That's what makes that game fun.
It makes it fun when it happens to other people.
Yeah, those are the 2 I'm going with. So, Micah, next question, again from Monkey Thunder, asks, who will be the first new character announced for the next Smash Bros. Game?
I hate to say it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's got to be Waluigi.
I was going to say the same thing. I was like, it's probably going to be
It's
Waluigi.
got to be.
Yeah,
Or Fire Emblem character. 50-50.
50. I mean, who isn't in the game that people want in the game?
Gino.
I guess Gino, but I still
Isaac.
cannot believe that Isaac's actually a good pick.
I would
But
actually love
also,
that. A huge fan.
we haven't had a Golden Sun game in so long.
For now.
Yeah.
Just you wait.
That's one that needs a revival for sure. But like Waluigi's just like a icon character for Nintendo games. And he is very
Toad?
very requested. Playable Toad? Captain Toad. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, let's make it a little better. Yeah, Captain Toad.
I think it's probably going to be Waluigi. It's the first new character announced.
That or can't remember the default Jonesy from Fortnite.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh, there would be riots. So many people would riot over that.
Yeah, Fortnite's. I mean, it's still big, but I feel like it's kind of lost its grip on the cultural zeitgeist it had. Maybe not.
Yeah, and it had it for a while.
Yeah, it did.
But
yeah, it really did. Yeah. 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 I think that does it for questions for the community corner. So let's move out of the community corner and into last week. We asked you. Do we have a bumper for that? Micah?
Technically, no.
Micah? I have no recollection as to what we asked last week.
I swear you asked something.
I know I
did not put it in. No, we didn't write it in. I feel like someone asked us about it, and you're like, I forgot to do that, and then you just didn't actually.
And then I just didn't do it.
In the.
I'm a failure. I didn't ask you guys a question last week.
I feel like you did at the end, though. I feel like you asked in the podcast.
I did in the podcast, but that question has come and gone with no answers because I failed to post the question. So this next episode's question is going to be what feature do you most want to see in Metroid Prime 4?
I like this question.
What feature would you like to see most in Metroid Prime 4? Because we didn't see a whole lot of that game. So we're
still very much in the dark.
Yep. And this rolls really nicely into our PAL topic. So let's fire up the PAL topic bumper. Today's PAL topic, we're talking about Metroid Prime 4 and talking about things we would like to see for that game and what it could bring. So the question I have for you, Micah, is did anything, you already kind of hit on this, but did anything in the trailer stand out to you as being unique and different from other games in the series?
No, except the symbol. The symbol of the black hole looking thing.
Yeah.
I gotta look up, like, I don't remember, because they've all been, I remember, like, variations of, like, the original Metroid Prime. Actually, Metroid Prime 3, I don't even see. Oh, Hamzon asking me if I'm old enough to look at this image or something. What is that? It's not a symbol. What is the word I'm looking for?
Screw attack?
Yeah, it's like the screw attack symbol thing.
Yeah.
What would you call that besides a symbol?
A
What is that
logo?
word?
A logo?
Logo. That's it. Boy, was I feeling dumb for the last like 45 minutes as I was trying to think of that. Because they've like essentially been like the screw attack thing, which I mean, this one's also round, but it's different. And I feel like that's kind of the most unique part of the whole trailer.
Yeah.
That and there's a massive tree, which I mean, they've always had like good nature things and whatnot. But at the end of the trailer, like the big focus point seemed to be a giant tree instead of like some artifacts.
Yeah, but you also had that like portal. So are we going to be and that planet looked very different from the planet that you were starting on, which was very rocky
Oh
and
yeah.
barren. So is there going to be interplanetary traveling, which was a thing in Metroid Prime 3, right? And possibly 2?
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's actually a very good question.
You've played through those games multiple times, haven't
It's
you?
been a long time. Well, in 2, I don't recall there being different planets at all. They just had the different like the dark version of things. I can't remember what they call those, but they had the portal between like the dark and light kind of a thing. And I remember in 3, you could like use your ship to fly to different areas. And I can't remember if they're on different planets or if it all like took place on the same planet.
I thought that's what happened, but I obviously didn't play those games.
I mean, I have like the worst. I have the worst memory.
So yeah, it does look like uh it'll be at least there will be 2 planet locations, but one of those might have just been the intro, and then you
Yeah, I mean, like the intro of Metroid Prime, where you're like up on the station, then fight Gosh, no, I can't even. I'm dying. My
Ridley?
brain. No, it's doesn't even have like a. Is it a? It's a crate like looking thing. Gosh, I look
Kraid?
like the fakest. I look like the fakest
Yeah, all
Parasite
this
Queen.
time. All this time and you
I look like
don't
the
even know.
fakest fan. I told you it was Parasite Queen. I'm incredible.
Nice.
I still
Nice.
got it.
Uh so we didn't see a whole lot that surprised
And then
you.
you go to planet.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh no. Yeah. Nothing.
So
I kind of forgotten about Silex, if I'm being honest. And then I saw that and I was like, wait a second, that's that one person from. And I remember them from Hunters. Silas. And then I looked up like, nope, it's actually Silex. Close.
it's that meme of the guy pointing at the TV like, "Oh, I know that."
Leonardo,
Yeah,
not Da Vinci. I can't even remember his name. DiCaprio.
you're losing it, Micah.
I
Well,
feel like I am actually. I'm feeling my brain just turn into gel.
yeah. This has been a long episode. Walking through the direct, I felt exhausted as soon as we were done. I was like, "Wow, that was a lot." There's a lot. But as far as features that we'd like to see in Metroid Prime 4, Mike, are there any things that you are particularly wanting?
Like, I don't actually like know. I mean, I think some sort of co-op would be a lot of fun, but at the same time, that's like generally goes against the vibe of a Metroid game where you
Was there
use.
co-op? Was there co-op in previous games?
I don't think so.
There was like a two-player battle mode, right?
Yeah, in 2, they had a battle mode.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I was like something like that would be cool, but like as far as like the campaign, it's like I don't really know what I want to see. I'd like to see bigger areas, I guess.
Yeah, I kind
I
of
mean,
want them
they
to.
tend to be fairly small sections of things, which I will want some of, but I think some bigger areas than they've had in the past would be nice.
It's maybe a controversial thing here, but I kind of want them to pull a Zelda Breath of the Wild and just be
Like
like, we're
open
gonna
world.
no, not open world
Oh, okay.
necessarily, but that we're going to flip the formula on its head. We're gonna do things completely differently. Like, I kind of just want to start with a lot of power ups instead of losing everything and you have to gain everything piece by piece.
You can't do that, but you can do more like Dread, where I feel like there were more unique items than in previous games. And like the phase shift and the cloaking, unless I'm mistaken, those were new.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they like, especially the phase shift really changed how you played.
that's fair. I just think that, well, I don't know if there is some other reward for progressing besides getting like brand new power ups that you need to get to progress to other things. But that kind of takes away from what the genre is, and that is it's called Metroidvania for a reason. But I don't know. I kind of just would like a straight adventure game that has a pretty straightforward. Maybe,
I feel
maybe
like
there's.
corruption was more straightforward, if I remember correctly. Like it
uh,
felt more guided, if
Well, I was thinking
I
like,
remember correctly.
what if there were branching paths for your for what you do? It was more like Skyrim or like you take
You
different
make
routes.
choices that matter.
Yeah, and they would change your play style. Like you could go for a stealth build or a more in your face melee build or something like that. More variety and less locked in on the linear progression of items. Does that make sense? And
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying.
it's not that I don't like that and don't want that. It's just I kind of want to see what they would do if they were to be like, let's start from the drawing board here. Nothing. We want to do something completely different than what we've done before. Because that got a really good game when Zelda did that. Like that got
At
us a
least some
really
people think so.
yeah. Some people don't like that, and people want things to be the same forever. And I mean, fair. I'm that way for certain things, and but I
Yeah, because
kind of
I've like thought about it, like, would I want Metroid Prime to be like open world? And I was like, I don't know. I don't want them to like because then it'd have to be more like Zelda, where there's not really the linear progression, and that's kind of what Metroid Prime is. So I
yeah.
feel like they could do some really cool things with it.
Hmm.
It just wouldn't be the same. And I don't know. I mean, it could be fantastic, but I think, in my opinion, it worked really well with Legend of Zelda. But
Yeah, but what would they
I don't
do
know.
for Metroid? I would really like them to kind of go all in on Metroid and try and make it another pillar series because Nintendo has
Give it
I mean
the Fire Emblem treatment.
yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like Zelda is like a big ticket fantasy series and it's getting its own movie, right? Like really popular. Mario is very cartoony and very like colorful world. And it's like Metroid's just got a really good aesthetic that is very unique and cool and is one of the best like sci-fi horror type experiences that really like captures the magic of those like old 80s movies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was really what inspired a lot of the game. Is like Alien and uh that. That's all I can think of off the top of my
That
head.
one
That
80s
one
movie.
Alien.
Was it 80s?
Alien? That definitely came in the 80s.
According to this, it came out April 8th, 2022, because I apparently typed A-line.
A-line. Good. Yeah, so I would like to see what they would do different.
Ooh, so close. 79.
Oh my gosh. I was backwards. I was like, oh, it's going to be
June
90.
1979.
Dang.
For some reason, I don't remember being that old. And that's like a decent amount of time before I was even born. I feel like Alien came out almost when I was born, is what it feels like. Very wrong.
I would also just like a multiplayer mode of any kind. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a co-op campaign. That would be very
What
cool and very
about
fun.
some sort of Dark Souls mechanic? Leaving messages for people.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be really
I
cool.
feel like that could be really cool, but at the same time, it also potentially, once again, goes against the vibe of you're generally on like isolated on this very dangerous planet that you're trying to survive and overcome. And if you have,
Did your microphone just die? Or did my headphones just die?
I think your headphones just died.
I think my
Did you
headphones.
hit the button?
My headphones just turned off. No, that was
Are
weird.
they back?
Yep, I'm back. But
Oh,
yeah,
right
I agree. It's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's a cool idea, but also kind of goes against with what it is. And being that isolation puzzle solving. But I don't know. Metroid Prime Hunters. I did
Lots of
play.
secret areas, I think. I want some things kind of off the beaten path that you don't really need to do. Because I mean, they always have these like puzzle areas, which I mean, they're usually hidden in places that you are already going through and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I want some like interesting other locations that you don't necessarily have to go to, but you can go and explore if you want.
There was like the Metroid Prime Hunters games were like a versus battle game. That would be cool to have like a mode. Oh, you could do that in.
Yeah.
It would be cool if there was more.
Maybe some dog fighting.
Oh yeah,
Fighting in your spaceship.
I was gonna say it's just like going back to what I said with the skill tree kind of thing, but maybe just like more variety of weapons that you could wield, or
More variety.
types of arm cannons and things that do.
Based off of
I'm just thinking of Halo.
the UI, it looks like they'll have the basic 4.
Yeah. I was just thinking of Halo.
And
I want it to be Halo. That's what I want. Halo, but with puzzles. Because Halo's just a shooting game, man. Like that's all you do in Halo is run and gun. But it has a really good story, and I like the level design, and I think Metroid pulled a little inspiration from that. Be cool. Because at the end of the day, like the Metroid Prime games, Metroid games in general, aren't really shooter games. They're puzzle games that have a shooting mechanic in them.
yeah.
And I think they could at times lean more into the shooting aspect because it'd be fun.
That's like your least favorite genre, I thought.
You're right. But that's just because Nintendo hasn't made one yet, besides Splatoon, third-person shooter. Also, what I want is just Kid Icarus Uprising.
80 hour. You want to start at Metroid Prime 4 and it's just a fake out.
No. I just want it to have the meat of Kid Icarus Uprising, where it's like you've got a huge variety of weapon types and ways to play. The levels are pretty linear in that game, but the replay value is on like it has that difficulty scale that you have in Smash Bros. Where it's like, oh, you could turn the heat intensity up to 10, and then it's a way harder level, and play with this item to earn more gems and like I just want there to be good substance to the game. Metroid Dread was awesome. It felt so short in the end. I want
Because you're
want
supposed to
more.
play it again on hard mode, and then you play it again on dread
Yeah,
mode,
that doesn't
and then you play
appeal
it
to
again on
me.
dread mode, minimum item run. It's awesome. Did you at least get 100% of the items?
No. No.
What?
What?
Some of those
I know,
puzzles are
Micah.
fantastic.
I know. Okay, Micah, what's your give us some closing thoughts here. You got any other features you want to hit up? Because we're about out of time. Not just
Yeah, so we
because
have like
of time, but
9 minutes left of
we have very
recording
little time
space.
left of recording space. Yeah.
The problem with Metroid Prime is I feel like it does what I want it to so well. But I mean, definitely some sort of multiplayer aspect. I mean, I think co-op, it's a lot of fun, but I don't even know if I would actually want it in Metroid Prime. But some sort of battle mode would definitely be fun.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm my headspace is with
And
it.
just make it long. I want it to be real long.
Yeah. I
Or
wouldn't
like you
mind.
said, branching paths, lots of replay value.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying is like I think you can get a lot of replay value out of making it so that you can do different builds. And you're like, "Oh, I liked this build, but maybe I could lean more into this." I think Metroid could be that kind of game. And then you could keep mostly everything else the same. Keep it very linear and you need these certain items to progress. But your play style changes depending. I don't know. Like Breath of the
I want to
Wild.
punch people, I've decided as well. I want to be able to punch things. Something
Yeah.
gets close to me, I won't punch it. Kind of like
Yeah.
the Dread and Samus Returns. Maybe some sort of counter.
Yeah. It's like Breath of the Wild. When you see an enemy, there are so many different ways you can approach that enemy and take
Oh
on the
yeah,
enemy.
it's limitless.
It's and it's like I would love to have that in a game like Metroid, where it's like limitless possibilities, but in space. But in space. Yeah, that's I kind of want to see what they would do with an open world Metroid game. And maybe what we saw in that trailer, maybe it will be. Like maybe there will be these like crazy things here and that what we saw in the trailer is the intro of the game and it subverts expectations entirely. Something happens where you're sort of put onto this planet or in this world. Like I like part of me wants a little bit of that No Man's Sky, right? Have you played No Man's Sky? Did you play much of that?
I don't think I have played any actually.
Oh
I've
man,
seen a little bit.
like No Man's Sky, I think captures the feeling of isolation and dread, like existential dread that Metroid has, but it's an open world game, like an open space game. But also that
Yeah,
game is
but
like,
it's also just very different.
yes. Yeah. And it's like you don't want to lose the piece of Metroid that makes Metroid Metroid, which I think is that more puzzly and going and scanning the world and getting an item and using that item to jump to the next spot that you couldn't to previously. But maybe that's just kind of like they do with Breath of the Wild, where it's big open world and a bunch of dungeons that you can go in that will
That have those
unlock
things.
XP for your skill tree. I keep going back to the skill tree.
And Buzz Lightyear appears
Perfect.
to help you go above and beyond. That's
To
this Buzz
infinity.
Light you were saying,
To
right?
infinity.
Infinity Beyond. Okay, I was like, wait a second, that didn't sound right.
Well, speaking of
See, I'm dumb
going
about everything. I'm not just forgetting Metroid stuff.
speaking of to infinity and beyond, I think this episode has run its course, and we gotta wrap it up. Micah, where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitch at Micah Prime.
You can find myself gallivanting about on Twitch and YouTube at Andros1. You can also follow the show, Nintendo Pals, on all listening platforms. Let us know what you think of the show. and join up on our Discord or our Patreon. Those are places where you can reach us, contact us, and we do appreciate it. We appreciate it so much, in fact, that I want to give a shout out to all of our fantastic Patreon supporters. You know who you are, but I'm going to list out your names anyways because you deserve a shout out. And I'm going to throw that shout out to T-Bone, Nick Lanoy, Fedorable Will, Monkey Thunder, Madison, Purple Riolu, Lava Plays, John Cummins, Lil Miss 7, Tim A, aka Neoprime 33, aka Nintendo Dad number 4, Seth Sturgill, LPD, Spider Shan, Solo, and of course, Mute Dog the Gamer. Thank you guys all so much for your support and helping keep the lights on for this fantastic show. And if you want to join and become a Patreon pal, you can check it out. Patreon.com/Nintendo Pals. It's only $1 to join at the lowest tier. And Micah, leave us with some wise words of wisdom. And also, do you have like a bumper that we can use for like send out music? I know there's like chill music in that, isn't there?
Oh, we got this.
I don't want to die. Don't turn around. Chill music. That's someone screaming. Your favorite bumper. Music.
What?
Send us out with.
I could not hear you.
Send us out with some wise words of wisdom.
You should buy Metroid Prime 4 when it releases.
Beautiful. All right. Peace out, everybody.